Today on the table, we have a Smith and Wesson Model 36, otherwise known as the Chief Special. So this revolver is chambered in 38 Special. It's a 5-shot. They started making these in 1950, and they actually still make them today, which is kind of cool. So that's, what is that, 75 years that they've been making them for now. So these are on their J-frame, and we'll go over the difference, but this is a J-frame revolver. And they made these in, they have a stain, you probably saw my other video where there's like a sister pistol to this, which is basically the same one, which is the Model 60, and that's just the stainless steel version of this, and they call that the Model 60. But this Model 36, these were designed just after World War II, actually, and what happened was Smith and Wesson, you know, at the time for World War II, had been making so many things for the war that once they went back to normal production, they ended up making and designing this. And the reason that they did this, or at least what happened, was, you know, people were looking out, they were sought after, people were looking for a revolver that was small and compact, that was more powerful than the 38 Long Colt or a 38 Smith and Wesson round, but could handle a 38 Special like this. Now, at the time, all those pistols before were just I-frames, and those smaller frame revolvers weren't able to handle a 38 Special round like this. So they designed this J-frame revolver and then ended up being able to make a pistol like this that could be very small and compact, that could handle a 38 Special. Now, when they first initially offered these, they were introduced first, and I think they introduced them in 1950 to the Chief of Police convention, and obviously everybody really loved that, and there was a vote. And the vote was the Chief Special, which was, I guess, the nickname that it was given, and that was what the name it was. But they don't say them on it. Like, this just says 38 Special right here, and then just says Smith and Wesson on this side. They did come in two different options. You could get a 2-inch barrel, which is what this is. It's actually like 1.8 inches, and then there was a 3-inch barrel. So those are the two different barrel sizes that you could get. And then they had a blued finish and then a nickel-plated finish. So remember, the nickel is if it's nickel, it's a 36, but if it's stainless steel, it's a Model 60. So just so that you remember those variations. The cool little fact is that serial number 337, or the 337th one that they made, Edgar Hoover got that one. So J. Edgar Hoover ended up that, and his name's actually engraved on it. So just this one here, I'll show you. This is a really old one. This one's from, I think, like 1956 or 1957. It's in almost perfect condition. It has just a little bit of holster wear. I mean, you can see a little bit of wear here on the cylinder from the holster wear. It's got a tiny faint ring on it here. And then it has just a little nick here, and then maybe just here, again, just from being placed in a holster. But this has what I like to call the double diamond grips. They're really just called a diamond grip, but I call it double because there's diamonds here and then the big diamond here. So in 1968, they deleted this extra diamond. And then this one, another thing they did in 1969, they started the serial numbers with J. This one's actually really, really old. This is only a 6-digit serial number, and it's 271,000. But you can see it has no letter prefix on it at all whatsoever. So it's very early. And then the other thing why I wanted this one so much is it's a flat latch. So I don't know if you guys collect based on the different types of latches, but the flat latches are really more rare, and they're really early. They stopped putting the flat latch on in 1966. So basically from when these were conceived until 1966, they were flat latches, and then after that they're back to they started using the more traditional latch. It was what you'd see on other snubs and your other Smith and Wesson revolvers. The other thing that they did too, again, for us collectors, or for any other collectors watching, which is what I like to point out, 1982 is when they limited the pin barrels. So if you see one of these and it's not a pinned, then you know it's 1982 right later. So that'll be a good determination on that. And you can see it does not have recessed cylinders. It just has the standard cylinders on it. And they never had to change. They all had these standard cylinders. There's no recess on them. But it is super cool. I wanted one with the original grips. I really try to find anything with the double diamonds like this. And I really wanted this flat latch because I knew it was more rare, and it was really early in that regards. I will definitely shoot this one. I found another one that I actually just bought over the weekend, and I'll get it here this week. It is another exact flat latch, just like this. I'm gonna have to see what the serial number is. I don't know if it's older or newer than this one. It's a little bit more rougher shape. What happened was somebody took this plate off, and supposedly they used a tool to kind of like, which is horrible, pry it open a little bit to get the plate off when you're supposed to just use a mallet to pop it off of there. So I'll take a peek, and I'll probably shoot that one a bit more and just leave this one as, you know, one to show like this. But I probably will do a comparison of them as well. But let me know if you have one. You know, it's they're pretty cool. I mean, it would be fun to carry this. I mean, it functions great. Timing on it's great as well. There's absolutely no wiggle. I mean, it's just a tiny, you know, just like that. You can only move it just a little bit, but it's and it has all of its original. I think if you remember too, on the other ones I showed earlier this week, you know, this was normally really worn out. This is very grippy, so, you know, it must not have been shot as much as we had thought. And, you know, it still has its original target trigger on it with lots of grip on it too. So it's just in great condition for its age, for being, you know, almost 70 years old. Or actually, probably, yeah, 70 years old, actually, because it was 69 or 70 years old. But let me know if you have one. Let me know if you shot one. I know there's some older folks that watch this, and heck, you guys might have carried one when you're on the police force, or, you know, when you did any type of work in that regards. But yeah, just let me know in the comments. Thanks again.